Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Toy here, and for today's Destiny 2 lore video, we're going to be taking a look at the Iron Lords.
In the years after the collapse, the world had no guardians. It had only Iron Lords. Immortal, fearless, we fought to protect the survivors of a once great age. Our battle was about more than crawling back from the shadows. The Iron Lords would give humanity back its future.
So, for the first Iron Lord that we're going to be looking at is Lord Saladin, or Saladin Forge. Lord Saladin Forge is a Titan Guardian and one of the two known survivors of the original Iron Lords. He was one of the founders of the Iron Lords and helped the Dark Age of Risen Warlords. He was one of the founders of the Iron Lords and helped end the Dark Age of the Risen Warlords to establish the City Age. However, most of his comrades perished in a battle to contain Siva, causing Saladin to dedicate his life to maintaining a watch on the Plague Lands to ensure Siva never emerged again, while also fighting to protect the last city from threats. In time, he established the Iron Banner to keep memory of the fallen Iron Lords alive and train the new Guardians in the ways of the old. When the House of Devils uncovered Siva and unleashed it upon the Cosmodrome, Saladin worked with the Young Wolf to end the threat of Siva for good and begin a new generation of Iron Lords. Saladin was found and raised by his ghost in Old Russia during the Dark Age, at which point most of humanity was scattered and lived under the ruthless rule of the Light Bearers who had become warlords. Saladin befriended the other Risen who did not follow the warlord's path: Radagast, Jolder, and Perune. Together under Radagast's leadership, they hid from the warlords in isolated communities and feared other Light Bearers, and occasionally struck against the oppressive rulers. When the mining community they were staying at was assaulted by 5 warlords, Saladin and the others fought and killed them, but the civilians they sheltered with were all killed ensuring battled. As they buried their bodies, Saladin listened as Radagast declared they could no longer live in fear of the warlords, and they must become guardians of the people, gathering like-minded Risen to aid them, while Jolder and Perune suggested recruiting Bretomart and Daedrus. Saladin told Radagast he trusted only him. Together, they declared themselves the Iron Lords and vowed to bring an end to the rule of the warlords. We're not going to dive into complete story of Saladin, but that's more so the biography of him, unless you want me to go further into detail in another video. But for right now, we're just going to be introducing the characters and we'll go on from there. So, up next is Radagast. Radagast was a Titan, and first of the renowned Iron Lords. Under his leadership, the Iron Lords ended the reign of the Warlords and the Dark Age, helping to found and defend the last city of humanity and usher in the City Age. However, Radagast and most of his companions were slain by the Warmind Rasputin through Siva at the dawn of that new age, leaving him unable to see his dream of an end to fighting and the rise of humanity achieved. The next character we're going to be looking at is a character that we've seen in Destiny 2 from Rasputin, is Lord Felwinter. Lord Felwinter was a warlock of the Iron Lords, a warlord and master voidwalker, who gave up his power in pursuit of peace alongside the Iron Lords. He was a true believer in his companion's goal, and more merciless towards enemy warlords than any of them. So for the next character we're going to be looking at is Perune. And Perune was a hunter and a field commander of the Iron Lords. She was known for her skills and strategist and situational awareness that has surpassed most hunters. Next up we have Jolder. Jolder was a human female titan and a member of the Iron Lords, a guardian full of joy and ferocity. Jolder would run into battle without heed to her own safety. The founding members of the Iron Lords, though, were Radagast, Saladin, Jolder, and those were the three that stood up to the warlords. The next Iron Lord that we'll be taking a look at is Lady Efferdeat. She is a female hunter and the youngest of the Iron Lords. Unlike the rest of her compatriots, she did not participate in the Battle of Site 6, and was thus spared from the near-total destruction of the Order. Efferdeat left Earth and joined the group of the Lightbearers at an undisclosed location to explore new ways to use the light without violence. She briefly returned to Earth and assumed Lord Saladin Forge's responsibility of serving as the handler of the Iron Banner until the Red War. After assisting in the liberation of the last city, Efferdeat once more departed Earth and rejoined her secret group. Up next is Gillian. Gillian was one of the famous Iron Lords and a hunter. Despite being a pessimist, Gillian was the most selfless of the Iron Lords, doing good regardless of what anyone thought. He was also a gifted analyst, and his allies usually accepted his assessments of the battlefield. Next up is Silmer. Silmer was a Titan, one of the Iron Lords, and architect of the Iron Temple atop Fellwinter Peak. A talented architect of unbreakable stubbornness, he was always looking for ways to offer better protection. And next up is Scory. Scory was a warlock and one of the famous Iron Lords, a singer for the Lost of the Battlefield, and a singer of the Sun on it. Scory was gifted at lifting the spirits of her comrades in any situation. And next up is Lord Timur. Lord Timur was one of the Iron Lords and a warlock, a talented stormcaller, fearless warrior, and avid researcher. Timur took an extreme amount of joy in creating new ways to fight the darkness. So next up for Iron Lords that we're going to be taking a look at are ones that aren't as known as a way, but still are because they're named after weapons in the game. So, first one up is Dryden. And Dryden was an Iron Lord responsible for the massacre of the town of Eden during the Warlord conflict. Oremund. Lord Oremund was a member of the Iron Lords and the first to their order to forge weapons. He was remembered by Lord Saladin Forge, who crafted the auto rifle Oremund's Anvil in his honor and awarded it to those who proved their valor in the Iron Banner. Crimmel. Crimmel was a member of the Iron Lords. Lord Saladin Forge crafted a hand cannon which he duped Crimmel's dagger to win as a prize in the Iron Banner in her honor. Lady Frostmere was an Iron Lord. Lord Saladin Forge honored her memory by crafting her a scout rifle named Frostmire's Hex and awarding those in the Iron Banner. Lord Joram was an Iron Lord. His memory was honored by Lord Saladin with the creation of the Joram's Claw. Lady Gonora was an Iron Lord known for her skill with an axe. Her memory was honored by Lord Saladin with a shotgun named Gonora's Axe. Orwing was an Iron Lord who helped scout the mountains around the Cosmodrome in Old Russia. Their memory was honored by Lord Saladin Forge with a grenade launcher called Orwing's Maul. Well, for these next ones that we're going to be taking a look at, they aren't Iron Lords, they are Iron Wolves though. And we're not going to be looking at them, but I will give the names of them, and these are going as listed. Hunters, Daedrus, Hakon, and Wayloran. Titans was Bretomart, Finala, and Tormod. Then Warlocks was Ashraven, Kolovance, and Nerwin. So for this next part of the video, I'm going to be showing you guys a clip at the end of the Rise of Iron DLC mission where you destroy Siva finally, and before you destroy it, you have an encounter with the Iron Lords, and there's going to be 3 of them that are basically resurrected by Siva. And the first one that you're going to be seeing is Lord Fellwinter. And these 3 Iron Lords that you see resurrected are the ones that were in the prelude for this DLC that you can see in the beginning of this video. It shows them fighting off Siva and then ultimately dying, and Jolder sacrificing herself to save Saladin and basically to not let Siva escape and take over. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was something I kind of wanted to do since I looked up on the search stuff, and this was one of the top research results that was found within the database. So I figured I would make a video about this since people are interested in it. And there's newer players that are coming into Destiny now with new light and stuff. I mean, they don't know who the Iron Lords are, and they didn't play Rise of Iron, so they're generally curious about who is who, and they only really know about Saladin. So hopefully this will give them a little bit of an explanation of who they are and how many there is. But yeah, I plan on making more lore videos this entire week, so make sure to keep an eye out for that. Yeah, it's been Toy Guys. Later.